What's up, everybody? What is up? Today is the G1. That's right there. The G1 Climax kicks off tonight, live from Dallas. It is the first time that we'll be doing it in the United States. I should be over here. And it is the first time it'll be going live on Access TV. So check it out, 6 p.m. tonight. That's what we're going to be talking about mainly here. I am 30 Case. You can, everything down here. Go on our Facebook, WrestleCave Podcast. Go on our Twitter, at Wrestle_Cave. Go on our Instagram, WrestleCave. YouTube channel, which is what this is on. Hopefully, just right under this, just hit that subscribe button. There's a little notify bell. Hit that. That way you can get all this stuff. I've been going live all week. I'm probably going to do another video tomorrow recapping the G1. We're going to recap the G1 and preview Slammiversary, which is tomorrow. So that'll be fun. I don't want to waste any more time. Took up already a minute, so let's get right into the action. The G1 kicks off tonight on Access TV. As I said, I am sporting the lovely IWGP Heavyweight Championship champion, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. He is going to be in the main event tonight, so that's going to be awesome. Let's just talk about the G1 for a little bit. If you're not familiar with it, it is probably the most prestigious tournament in all of professional wrestling, in my opinion. Some people that have won it in the past, Masahiro Chono has won it 5 times, so he is the guy that has won it the most amount of times. Tenzan has won it 3 times, as has Tanahashi. So Tanahashi is in this year's, as is Okada. Okada has won twice. That is going to be our main event tonight. I'm a little biased, so you're going to see who I'm going to pick, obviously, but we'll get into it. So tonight is going to be the A block. The A block is Ospreay, Archer, Evil, Fale, Sonata, Zack Sabre Jr., Kenta, Ibushi, Tanahashi, and Okada. The B block we'll get into after this, but let's kick it off with the first match that's going to be on tonight. Roppongi 3K, Sho, and Yo will be taking on, put my belt down for a second, will be taking on G.O.D., the Gorillas of Destiny, Tonga Loa, and the bad boy, or the good guy sometimes, Tama Tonga. I know this is going to be a great matchup because Roppongi 3K is one of the best tag teams in the world, as is G.O.D. But I got the champions going over in this one. They're red hot right now. I have no reason to believe that the double champs won't win this one here. The next match, because I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break down the matches that's actually going to start the G1 a little bit in depth. I'm just going to run through these first preliminary matches. We have a couple young lions in this one and a couple G1 guys in this one. We have Shota Umino, who, if you remember, is the guy who John Moxley, the young lion that John Moxley took out really quick at Dominion, and then said he was going to be his driver and limousine driver and all that stuff, and was like helping him to the back, and weekend at Bernie's, basically, with him carrying him around and stuff. But he will, Shota Umino will be teaming with Ishii, which is always a hard hitter, and I love Ishii. And they will be taking on another young lion, Ren Narita, who had a really good showing in the Super Junior tournament that we just had, which was an amazing tournament. I'll get into that too. And Ren Narita will be teaming with one of my favorite wrestlers right now, Jeff Cobb. Really bummed he couldn't win the Ring of Honor Championship last weekend? Yeah, last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, at Best in the World. But he will be in the G1, and I'm expecting big things out of him. A really star-studded G1 this year, as you're going to see as we go through this. But in this one, I'm going to pick Jeff Cobb, and I'm going to pick Ren Narita for the reasons that Narita's pretty hot right now, coming off that Super Junior. And Jeff Cobb is a guy that I think they love to showcase when they can. Sometimes he doesn't get the singles wins, but I think in this tag team matchup, they're going to get the win here. The next one is Goto and Yoshihashi. They're taking on Bullet Club members Chase Owens, the Crown Jewel, and Jay White. I'm going to have to go with Jay White and Chase Owens in this one. Just because I think they're going to go Bullet Club. I don't know why. I think they really like Jay White. Chase Owens, I could be totally wrong, and Chase Owens might just be in there to get the the pin. But I'm going to pick Jay White here and Chase Owens just for the fact that they're red. They love Jay White. Like, they love Jay White in New Japan. So, and he's one of their top stars that they're really pushing. So I'm picking this one here. Then we have the other thing that's really cool is, like, in these G1, like, these tag team matches, they're not just, like, throwaway matches, because there's a lot of guys that are in the G1 and they're going to face each other, like, the next night of the G1, which will be a week from now. But, like I said, Ishii and Cobb will be taking on each other. And then you have this next match, which was, it's going to be Jushin Thunder Liger, the legend, Yano, and Juice Robinson, and they will be taking on LIJ, Los Ingobernables de Japón. They'll be taking on Bushi, Shingo, and Naito. So Shingo and Naito are in the G1. So kind of interesting to see how they're going to get along as a tag team when they might have to face each other, or they are going to have to face each other in the other block. But here's what I'll say, because I think the next one we have Juice taking on Shingo, and then if I'm correct, we have Naito taking on Yano. So in the night 2. So I'm going to pick LIJ here. They have lots and lots of tag team experience together. They're a close-knit group. I don't think Shingo and Naito are really going to let that interfere with each other right now. Early on, they don't have to face each other right now. So I think I'm going to go with LIJ. Now, let's break down the A block. The A block, the first matchup. Will Ospreay, the Super Junior winner. He went on to defeat Dragon Lee at Dominion for the Super Junior, or the Junior Heavyweight Championship. So he is red hot, hotter than anybody else probably in New Japan right now. He's had his little Twitter thing exchange with Seth Rollins, so he's gained so much exposure since then. He's been on the Edge and Christian podcast. He's been everywhere, and now he put himself in the G1 to prove that he is the best in the world, and I hope we get to see that. He's taking on Lance Archer, who, another interesting story here. Archer's always been known as a tag team wrestler with Davey Boy, Davey Boy as Killer Elite Squad, but Killer Elite Squad is now no more with Davey Boy leaving. But Lance really wants to prove himself here. I heard him do a little interview, a quick snippet with Dave Meltzer, and he said, you know what, this is my time to shine. New Japan's really given him the opportunity to shine and do more than he would have when he was in WWE developmental. So he's really thankful to New Japan. So I think we might get a little breakout here from Lance Archer, but I don't know where to go with this one because it's Will's first match in the G1. But I think he's going to need a win over Archer here, because I think when he gets to other guys like Sanada, Kenta, Ibushi, Okada, Tanahashi, he's not going to get those wins, I don't think. So I'm going to pick him to beat Archer in this one, because Ospreay is going to have a tough time later on down the line in this tournament getting some other wins. So that's why I picked Ospreay in this one. No, I really want to see what they're going to do with Archer as a singles, because when they put him in this G1, I was kind of shocked. I thought they would have went with someone like Suzuki, but I'm interested to see what Archer can do now in this G1. Next match, we're going to have Evil of LIJ taking on Bad Luck Fale. Two really big dudes, really big powerhouses of their respective stables. Fale obviously is in Bullet Club. I am going to go with Evil in this one. Fale is never really in there to get those wins. He's really there to just be like the muscle for Bullet Club. He does, when he's in there, he holds his own, but Evil is just, I think Evil's going to take this one. He's had his time where he's really shown that he, as a singles wrestler, is just as dominant as he is as a tag team with Sonata, and Sonata the same. So I'm going to pick Evil in this one. The guy that I just talked about, Sonata, in this next match will be taking on Zack Sabre Jr. So both of these guys, the next three matches really are going to be like all three are going to rival for match of the night, because you have Sonata versus Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr., one of the top technical wrestlers in the entire world. But Sonata can do that too. But Sonata can fly. Sonata can go toe-to-toe with anybody, as can Zack. So this matchup right here really excites me. Like, I'm really excited about it. Zack was talking a lot of trash at the press conference they just had. He was saying he knows more submissions than Ospreay sent out tweets this morning. But I'm going to go with This one's tough for me too, but I'm going to go with Zack Sabre Jr. in this one. I think he's going to have a really good showing in this G1. I think all the guys are because they're all so talented, but it's just so hard to pick this year. Like, it's really hard to pick because this is a stacked lineup, as you're going to see as we go on. But I'm going to pick Zack Sabre Jr. to win this match. And then we have another stellar matchup potentially is Kenta, formerly known, well, he was Kenta, then he went over to NXT, and I don't even remember his name anymore because I don't care. I just Kenta, you know? Hideo Itami, I do know his name, but Kenta will be taking on Kota Ibushi. Holy crap, this has the potential to be another show-stealing match. Ibushi has stayed in New Japan, and Kenny Omega said he never even wanted to offer Kota a contract to come to AEW because he knows how much Kota wants the IWGP Championship. So this is such a hard matchup because then on the other hand you have Kenta. Kenta is coming over who wants to prove that he is still the best in the world. When he did NXT, that's not him. He doesn't want people to remember him by that. Before that, when he was in Dragon Gate, in Noah, he was phenomenal. So he wants to show Kenta style of wrestling is what he said. So Ibushi versus Kenta, it's tough, but I'm ultimately, because we're on U.S. soil, Kenta's going to get the pick here because I think they really want to stick it to WWE and NXT with this one and say, hey, Kenta just beat one of the top wrestlers in the world and they just put on a phenomenal effing match and you guys messed up with him. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think Kenta's going to beat Ibushi in this one. But it's going to be an interesting ride throughout with this whole block because in the main event tonight, we're going to have the Rainmaker, the man who brings rains of money for New Japan. He makes so much money for New Japan. He is the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, possibly the best ever, Kazuchika Okada. And he will be taking on his long time rival, Tanahashi. So, Tanahashi and Okada. I think the bottom four, like these two main events, is who it's going to come down to. Who's going to win this block? It's going to be Kenta, Ibushi, Okada, or Tanahashi. One of those four is going to win this block. I think Ospreay's going to have a good showing, but I don't think he's going to be able to beat the top guys like that right now. I'm picking Okada in this one. I know you can obviously tell I'm a huge Okada fan, but I'm a huge Tanahashi fan, the ace. I think Okada is going to try to... I think he wants to be better. He obviously wants to be better than Tanahashi. That's his rival. Tanahashi has 3 wins in the G1. Okada has 2. Okada is one of the longest reigning, most historic IWGP champion there is, and he's only 30 years old. And Tanahashi has been the ace of New Japan for so long that you've seen these guys have classic matchups every time they go out there. And I'm expecting another one tonight, but I just think Okada wants to even it up there, whether it's 3-3 for G1s. And then maybe when he wins the G1, he'll pick Tanahashi and face him at Wrestle Kingdom. I think Okada's going to take this one, but I think we're going to have another classic, just like we have every single time these guys take on each other. So that's what I got for tonight. I got Ospreay winning, I got Evil winning, I got Zack Sabre Jr., I got Kenta, and I got Okada. So that's what I got for tonight. A week from today, we're going to have the second day when we really get rolling, when we have a couple days in a row with the G1. We're going to get the B block. So let's break down the B block. July 13th, 1 week from today. We will have it in Tokyo. There's a lot of wrestling shows going on that day, which we'll get into. But in that night, let's run it down. We have Juice Robinson, Toru Yano, Hiroki Goto, Tetsuya Naito, Shingo Takagi, Jay White, Moxley, Taichi, Cobb, and Ishii. So those are all the guys in the B block. Let's break them down a little bit. Shingo, great showing again in the junior. Since he debuted not very long ago, maybe a year and a half ago, not even, for New Japan, he's been on a tear. I think he's only lost a couple matches. They've really pushed him as one of their stars, as they should, as you've seen in his match. If go back and watch, if you only have time for one match to watch with Shingo Takagi and Will Ospreay, go watch that, the Super Junior final. Holy shit, great match. That's what I would recommend for you. Definitely go check that out. This guy can go. He, just like Ospreay, wants to prove that he can also fight not just juniors, but he can fight heavyweight. So it'll be interesting to see that. He will be taking on Juice Robinson, we all know, former U.S. champion, formerly in NXT. He has also been killing it since being in New Japan. They've really been pushing him as well. I'll break down who I think is going to win all these, but I'll just run down who the matchups we're going to get. We're going to get Moxley versus Tai Chi. Obviously, Mox, the current U.S. champion in New Japan, former Dean Ambrose. For everybody who doesn't know the name Jon Moxley, that is Dean Ambrose. He is now in New Japan, AEW, all over the place. Actually, real quick, last night he was taking on Killer Cross in the Future Stars of Wrestling. They had a match. I guess it went to a no contest, and then security broke them up. They beat the crap out of all the security, and then Scarlett Bordeaux came out, and she did something to the ref. Pretty cool to see Killer Cross and Jon Moxley go head-to-head. I'd love to see that on a pay-per-view somewhere. Anyway, Jon Moxley will be taking on Tai Chi. This will be interesting because Tai Chi always tries to play mind games with people, and so does Mox. So this is actually Mox is perfect for this this block because you have Mox versus Tai Chi. Guys that he can play head games with. Tai Chi, Yano, Jay White, and he can go. Him and Ishii are gonna battle. That's gonna be phenomenal. Jeff Cobb, holy shit. But let's get into another matchup. It's gonna be Yano versus Naito. We know what Yano's gonna do. Naito can play like that too. Naito can play all the games anybody wants to play, but he can also pop you straight in the face, as we've seen in his matchup with Kota Ibushi at Dominion 2. That match was crazy. We could possibly get that as a final too, because one's an A, one's an B. I think this this block is going to be interesting for all the different mixed personalities and different styles that are in this block. Like Juice, Shingo, Yano, Naito, as I said, but Ishii and Jeff Cobb's going to be a really good for matchup. Jay White versus Goto is another one. As I said, Moxley, Tai Chi, Yano, Naito, and then Juice versus Shingo. So that's what I got for you for the G1 for now. What else? The other stuff we're going to get into. We got some NXT and NXT UK results, and then I have some news from the wrestling world. Again, just a quick reminder, follow us down here and hit subscribe if you want. And then the notify bell, but we're going to keep going. My pick to win, I have two picks because I can't pick. I really want Okada to win for that story where he can pick whoever he wants to win. I think, and then I've heard they want Moxley, or they could be potentially pushing towards a Moxley-Okada match at Wrestle Kingdom. I don't think they're going to have Moxley win the G1, but you can have Okada win and say, I want to face this WWE guy, Jon Moxley, and have that at Wrestle Kingdom. I think that would be pretty cool. But we'll see. We got a couple long, grueling weeks ahead of us, and I'll be trying to break it down for you as much as I can here. Next up, we'll get into NXT. From NXT, we had a lot of action. We had Mia Yim taking on Aaliyah. Mia Yim defeated Aaliyah with the Eat Defeat after the match. She took out Vanessa Bourne, and then she went and pretty much proclaimed she wants to take on Shayna Baszler. She wants all the smoke. She wants to be the women's champion. Mia Yim, again, as I said in one of the last videos I did, she was in The Wrestlers, which is on Vice, which you should really check out if you have any time to watch that. It's a really good documentary. Phoenix has been on one of the episodes that was featuring luchadors. There's just said Mia Yim was in one featuring a lot of the women of the world. MVP was in a phenomenal one. He did a great job with that whole series. So check out Vice if you had it. Check out those shows. Kushida was next. Kushida took on Jeff Hunter, I believe his name was. Pretty quick match. Jeff Hunter didn't really get any offense on. Kushida won very easily with the hoverboard block. Won't really break it down too much because that was it. Everything I just said pretty much happened. Then that was the end of the match. So Kushida's still rolling pretty hot right now. We'll see where that goes. Interested to see if he gets an NXT TakeOver match at the next TakeOver. I hope so. And I hope it's a pretty high profile one. For me, I'd like to see him maybe take on Tyler Breeze, Roderick Strong, someone like that. Because you'll see in this next, as I get there, the main event. That's who's fighting in the main event. Next, we had the NXT Breakout Tournament. And we had Cameron Grimes, who, if you don't know, is formerly known as Trevor Lee from Impact Wrestling. He is a phenomenal talent, former X Division champion over there. The Cult of Lee was great over there that he had going on in Impact Wrestling. And he was taking on Isaiah Swerve Scott, formerly known as Shane Strickland, also was in The Wrestlers, that documentary series I was talking about. But he's a phenomenal talent. He's been wrestling all over the world. He's been in Evolve. He's been in Lucha Underground, and the list can go on and on. He's been everywhere. And now he's in NXT, and he and Grimes had a phenomenal match. I can't even begin to tell you how phenomenal this was. It just was breaking the surface of what you're going to see these guys be able to do at like a takeover type event. If they get in a really good feud with somebody, because they have so much more time and more presentation that goes into that they can really, once they get their characters into the NXT universe, it's going to be great. But Cameron Grimes ended up defeating Isaiah Swerve Scott in a phenomenal matchup, so I really can't. So he will move on in the breakout tournament. Really can't wait to see where the future holds for these guys in NXT and in WWE, because they're both great talents. Next, you have Bianca Belair in another quick matchup, taking on Priscilla Zuniga, I believe her name is. Belair won with 2 power bombs, and then she hit her Fisherman Facebuster for the win. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, Bianca's still rolling. She's still reeling from her loss to Shayna Baszler. She really wants to win back, or not win back. She wants to win the women's champion and get another shot. So we'll see if she can. She's on a hot streak right now, but Mia Yim is another woman who also wants that gold. I'm sure Candice LeRae wants to get in there. Io Shirai right now is the top girl for that, so a lot of mix going in there. I really like what they're doing with that women's division. I just want to see them all cross paths a little bit more. I know we have Candice and Io and Shayna up there, but I want Mia Yim and Belair maybe to get just like kind of touch in there a little bit as well, because that's a pretty solid women's division they have right now, and I like what they're doing with it. But in the main event, we had Roderick Strong versus Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze really took a beating in this match. If you check it out. Roddy always works the back. He was working everything in this one. Great matchup between these guys. I'm so happy for Tyler Breeze that he gets to go back to NXT and really, he's like, hey Vince, look what I can do. Hey, you see me down here? I can still go, dude. Like, I'm funny, but I can wrestle. He's really proven that. But eventually, Undisputed Era would come out. Bobby Fish provided a little bit of a distraction, which let Roddy Strong get back in the match, and Roddy hit the end of Heartache for the win. After the match, they took out Breeze, and we'll see where they go from there. And another really solid episode of NXT, building those storylines. We got to see another phenomenal breakout tournament match, which featured 2 really great guys, and we still haven't even seen the other half of the guys that they have. They have 2 more, I believe they have 8 guys, so they have 2 more matches to show, to keep going. So NXT really doing their thing. Will Mia Yim be the number 1 contender? Will Bianca Belair get there? Io, what's going on with Io? I want to see where Io is next week. Like, I've heard great things are coming, so we'll see where NXT goes from here. I will keep you tuned for that. But NXT UK, let's break that down real quick. Piper Niven defeated Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley came out and demanded Piper Niven come out so they can do a match. Niven won after a good match, and she hit the Niven driver, I believe it's called, the Piper driver, and she beat Rhea Ripley. These are 2 big powerhouses in NXT UK going toe-to-toe. The other big powerhouse you'll see, I'll tell you about in a minute, Jazzy Gabbert. Next up, though, we had Alexander Wolf taking on Jack Stars, I think his name was, and he won with a sit-out powerbomb. Good showing from him in his first one-on-one NXT UK match since joining Imperium and joining the NXT UK brand, so really good to see him get off to a quick start, as is expected. I mean, that's one of the hottest faction stables, whatever, right now in wrestling. Besides Undisputed Era, I would say Imperium is right up there, too. They're killing it. I love all 4 of those guys, but next, we had the aforementioned Jazzy Gabert, whatever, the other powerhouse in NXT, along with those other two women that I mentioned. And she won in a handicap match pretty quickly again. And she has been doing a little thing with Ginny where she's kind of Ginny's muscle. So we'll see where that goes too. But I would like to see all three of those women collide in like a triple threat match down the line. That would be freaking sweet, wouldn't it? That'd be a car wreck. I would love every second of it. And then finally in the main event, we had the NXT UK Tag Team Championship match. The rematch of Grizzled Young Vets taking on one of my favorites, the Big Strong Boys, the British Strong Style. Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven. Again, another great match. Can't say enough about it. Tyler and Trent always take a beating in their matches. Did again. Again, it was a great match, but Imperium, who I just said has been on fire lately, just came in and intervened and made their presence known. And they're like, hey guys, we want those tag titles too. So maybe at NXT Cardiff we'll get a three-way with, we'll get Mustache Mountain versus Grizzly Young Vets versus Eichner and Marcel Bartel. I think that would be a phenomenal way to kick off their NXT UK Cardiff pay-per-view. Because if they're going to go toe-to-toe with All Out that day, they got to put on a card. And those three tag teams are the hottest tag teams in their division. And I'd say you got to put that on. You got to put that match on. I expect like Walter to take on Pete Dunne again probably too. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So that was your NXT UK recap. I've been trying to watch that a little bit more because ever since Imperium and Walter and all that and all those guys have been put together, I've liked Gallus has been going along. They've been going at it with Wild Boar and Primate and all that. That's been okay. They have a lot of characters in NXT UK and they're starting to build the storylines with them finally. So it's good to see. Good to see. They really established the characters for a while and now they're starting to put it all together. And I think this pay-per-view is going to be pretty solid. It's going to steal the show. Having said that, moving on from all of our recaps, let's get into a little news. I'm going to run it down really quick for you because I know we're about half hour in. So if you have made it this far, thank you very much for staying with us. Again, go on all of our stuff if you like what we do. I'm going to be doing these a lot more, as I have been all week. Share it with somebody, tell them about it, let me know what you think. But from the world of wrestling, just some odds and ends here that I found. John Cena, I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but John Cena was out shopping at a store, I guess in the UK, and a UK YouTuber was just filming him, didn't ask John if he could film him, I guess, and filmed him for quite a while, and John got a little upset, but I think John handled it a very good way. You can go see the whole video, I'm sure you can find it anywhere, but it just goes to show, be respectful to these people. They're people just like you and me, especially John Cena. He is nothing but respectful to people. John Cena has standards, and I've grown to really like him ever watching a little bit of that Total Bellas show and all that, but I can't fault John Cena. He handled it the right way, in my opinion, and that guy needs to learn you don't do things that way. But anyway, moving on. Another UK story, I guess. Paige, you know Paige. She is right now with the Kabuki Warriors. I think that is their name. Asuka and Kairi Sane, wherever they are to be found. They're supposed to be on SmackDown getting tag team titles, but not happening right now. But anyway, Paige, if you'll remember, Fighting With My Family was the movie that came out. She is now saying that WWE is really missing the ball. I believe, dropping the ball with her brothers is exactly what she said. I'll read a couple of quotes here. She said, she's not just saying it to be biased, but they have great gimmicks and they would fit right in and should be called up, and they would be perfect for NXT in a heartbeat, and they would do it in a heartbeat. She also said, I want to get this one right, NXT UK need to get their shit together and hire her brothers. That is a direct quote from Paige. So, Paige really wants her brothers to work for NXT UK. Another story going around is Jon Moxley signed a 3-year deal with AEW, and word on the street is that he has a opt-out clause after 1 year. So a lot of people, as Conrad would say, rumor and innuendo, would say they're all saying it's a big conspiracy. He's going to go back to WWE after a year. Why would he do that? Why would he go build up AEW and then leave and go back to WWE? Here's what I think it is. It's a brand new company that he's signing with, AEW. He's putting himself in a position where if they go under or they're failing or they're not going in the right direction, that he can get out and go to an Impact or New Japan and stay full time. I don't think he's going back to WWE. Whoa, sorry about that one. I don't think he's going back to WWE anytime soon unless they really step their game up and really, really provide quality entertainment, which they were starting to. If you can go back and watch my SmackDown and Raw recaps, and you can see I liked a little bit of what they did on Raw and SmackDown. But I don't think he's going to go back to WWE. I think it's just something to cover his own ass in case AEW isn't a long-term success and isn't something that he thinks is going to be the future of wrestling. I don't see that happening. I do think they are in a good direction. I just think he's covering his own ass. He's being a smart businessman, as anyone else would if they had the opportunity to. So kudos to him. Do not think he's going back to WWE. So that's my take on it. What else we got? Oh, rest in peace. Condolences go out to Pero Aguayo. He's died at the age of 73. If you don't know who he is, he was a big player in the AAA in the 90s. He had feuds with Conan and Dos Caras, and just condolences. He was also in the 1997 Royal Rumble as well. I went back and watched that, so thanks to him. It was a good one. But you can go back and check that out if you want as well. Go check out some of his stuff from AAA, and rest in peace to him. A lot of wrestlers, we're losing a lot of wrestlers weekly, like every week. We just lost the ICW champion not too long ago too, so it's a shame. We're losing a lot of people, but the wrestling community is strong, and I know everybody's banding together to lift the spirits up of his family and people around in AAA, the whole family. So just a shame to see so many people going. But finally, I'll move on to one more thing before I get out of here. Another match was added to Fight for the Fallen, which will be next weekend, July the 13th, and you can watch it on Bleacher Report Live, the app, for free. Interesting 6-man tag they've put together. MJF, Shawn Spears, and Sammy Guevara taking on I've talked about these three, ready? Sammy, Darby Allin, Joey Janela, Jimmy Havoc. I've talked about those three, how I want to see all of them take on each other. They're going to team together, which is going to be interesting as all hell, because they're all very hardcore wrestlers. They all are insane. They all have a very unique style, very unique look, as you saw when Darby took on Cody Rhodes and did the trust fall on the apron and missed, as you saw with Joey Janela taking a beating with putting his feet through the thumbtacks and going through all the boards with the barbed wire when he was against Johnny Moxley, and then Jimmy Havoc, who we've seen staple a lit cigarette to Janela's head in the Battle Royal, and we saw him have an outstanding match in the Fatal 4-Way against MJF, Jungle Boy, and Hangman Page. But the other side of this is also interesting, because if you remember, Shawn Spears is the one who came out, hit Cody Rhodes in the head with the chair, left him bloody, and MJF came out to Cody's aid to see if he was okay. So I don't know how this is going to go down, them teaming together, and then you have Sammy Guevara, who's another huge ego. So you have MJF and Sammy Guevara, two of the biggest egos in All Elite Wrestling, and they're going to team together along with Shawn Spears. I think all hell's going to break loose in this match. It literally is set up to break loose on both ends of this match, so I'm very interested to see where that one is going to go. But you can watch that one July 13th. Also on July 13th is night 2 of the G1. And we have the Evolve 10th anniversary show, which will be in our city of Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena. Matt Riddle will be taking on Drew Gulak in a catch point reunion. Adam Cole will be taking on Akira Tozawa. And then a champion versus champion, winner take all. The WWN champion will take on the Evolve champion, Austin Theory, taking on JD Drake. So that'll be fun. That'll be a good matchup. So let me know what you guys think of this video. I'm going to get going now. Please follow us below. Twitter at Wrestle_Cave. Instagram, WrestleCave. Facebook, WrestleCave Podcast. Hit subscribe below. Leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to be back tomorrow, hopefully, with a review of the G1. There it is. And Impact Slammiversary preview as we roll into Sunday. So like, share, do all that stuff, help me out. I'm just trying to give you guys some content, and I'm going to leave you with the Rainmaker right here, because that's who I think will be taking the whole thing. But I will see you guys tomorrow most likely.